So the first question is, what about the play was meaningful to you? So number one, I thought the whole story about how Dionysus was born, he's Zeus's son, and his mother was mortal. I thought that whole story was really cool. Um, and then also Dionysus, just as a character, um, he's kind of interesting because he's calm and level-headed when he needs to be, but then he can also change and become very, powerful and um, angry very quickly. And that's kind of in opposition to Pentheus, who, in general, is just more irrational and angry and closed-minded, because he doesn't, believe in Dionysus. I also like the way they describe the characters. They're kind of very surreal, like the way they describe the strangers having long hair, and then also the way they, describe the disguises when they were disguising Pentheus. Um, the second question is describe three themes. The first one I came up with was family, because obviously Dionysus and Pentheus are cousins. Cadmus is both their grandfather, and he was the former king of Thebes. And then Zeus was also involved in the story. He's Dionysus' father, and he also killed his wife, which is Dionysus' mother. And then another character is Agao, or however you pronounce her name, and that's Pentheus' mother. So another theme that I came up with was kind of like a dual nature of people. So Dionysus is he's very gentle, but he's also terrible at the same time. He helps people. Like his one of his things is like the wine. He helps people. It makes them happy. It makes them have fun. But it also drives them insane. So there's a certain amount of self-control associated with that. And then the third theme I came up with was disguise, because obviously Dionysus disguises himself as the stranger when he goes to meet with Pentheus, and then Pentheus later disguises himself as the woman or the cross-dresser, and then obviously he's disguised. His mother thinks he's a lion, and then she kills him and rips him apart. The third question is, how are the Maenads depicted? So the Maenads are the followers of Dionysus. They're all women, and they're kind of portrayed as crazy, frenzied women that are just drunkenly partying all the time, having a good time. And I guess they kind of represent the good side of Dionysus. And Pentheus really does not really treat them with respect. There's one quote, I think it says like, they creep off one by one, alone to have sex with men, claiming they're Maenads. All the ones I've caught, my servants guard in our own public prison. And this kind of just shows like that Pentheus doesn't have a whole lot of respect for women, and maybe implies that they weren't treated very well in society. And then the fourth question is, why is Elvis on the cover? I don't know if there's an exact answer for this, but I think Elvis kind of represents, fun. He's the first icon from rock and roll. Dancing, having a good time, all that stuff. He's a huge icon, and I think Dionysus kind of represents that as well, with the being the god of wine and everything. And then I guess also Elvis had his fair share of huge followings of frenzied women, as did Dionysus with the Maenads. And then a couple questions. Two questions I had is, why does Pentheus' mother have to be punished for killing her son, but she didn't really know who he was, so why does she have to be punished for it afterwards? And then also, why doesn't Cadmus have more influence over Pentheus? Like, why isn't he able to convince Pentheus to believe in Dionysus and worship him when he's his grandfather? Like, that doesn't really make sense to me.